For my college bands, I'm currently doing 3 pieces. My first piece is For What It's Worth, which I'm doing backing vocals on. This is quite challenging because originally I'm a violinist, so thinking about breathing and pitching of my actual voice isn't really an issue, but now it is something that I have to think about and I find quite tough at the moment. I'm singing in choruses, and in verse 3 where there are some little embellishments from the original part, and I'll be adding them onto the end of lines, which I'm having just trouble with timing really. So coming in exactly at the right point to match up with the next line where I add in the next ooh. So thinking about all of that is quite tough. But what has been helpful through this is the lead vocalist has sent me over a recording of him singing this part, which has really helped me get the tuning right for this. I've also been listening to the YouTube video quite a lot so that I can get that timing really precise. The next piece I'm tackling at the moment is Heart of Gold, which I play on violin. For this, there isn't a violin part, but there is a harmonica part, which I'm taking over. There are 3 solos that I'm tackling from the harmonica, and 2 I've learnt, and 1 I have to learn. The first harmonica solo I've learnt includes double stopping, and the second one also does, and the third one probably will. And the double stops are quite difficult for me because they include quite a lot of technique and really getting the feel of the song right. So getting the notes right is really essential because the style is something that suffers if they're not right. To work them out, I've been listening to the YouTube recording of it, and also for my first solo I searched up a tutorial online for harmonica that had some sheet music on it, so I managed to get the notes from that, and that's really helped me work out the second solo as well because it's based around a lot of the same notes. But for this solo I just listened to the YouTube recording and worked it out from my ears. I'm currently still in the process of working out some double stops for this because the harmonica just naturally plays double stops, but I'm having to actually work out exactly which notes I have to play on violin. So this is my first harmonica solo that I've been playing. For my third harmonica solo, I'll probably be using the YouTube recording again to work out what it is I have to play, and also using my knowledge from these 2 pieces when I've worked out the double stops to add double stops to that solo. My last piece is Folsom Prison Blues, which I'm also playing on violin. This actually doesn't have a violin part, so it's been a challenge to find the right tuning to go with this style, which again has included double stops, which I thought was the best idea. So finding this was a real difficulty for me, but I worked it out with a tutor during band rehearsal, and during band rehearsals I've also discussed where everyone in the band would like me to add in my parts. I'm working on a solo that's improvised, which comes after the guitar solo, which is actually in the original song, and is very iconic, so I'm just trying to work out how to not overpower it, but to really enhance that iconic solo with my improv violin part. And I also add in verse 4, which I felt like elevated the piece a bit more, so it wasn't as chugging and train-like, but it actually really lifted So I needed to do something different with my violin part. So instead of just doing a chugging quaver, two semi-quavers that fits with the drum part, double stop part, I decided to change it up and actually do a single riff melody line on the E string, which is this. So that's a very repetitive part, but then I change it back to double stopping as well. It's been a challenge for this piece to find where to slide down during double stop. So I do some slides to a semitone below where the actual B and E notes are of the double stop, and just getting the change right with the rest of the chords in this song that the other instrumentals play has been a bit of a challenge, but I'm quite happy with where I've got up to with that. What we'll carry on working on is just that improv solo, because I've got the notation right and I kind of know the structure I want to go for with that, but it's not quite there. I want it to be a bit more standout and possibly add some double stops into that just to really give it that grounding country feel that we all like. So that's where I'm up to at the moment.